What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, retard. Sorry, I'm being stupid. Okay. So, what we've got here is 25.2. Or sorry, sorry, it's a 7.5.2 actually in the book. Consumer psychology. We're in the advertising section. This is, I believe, the last section of consumer psychology with the final key study. So 2.5 or 7.5.2, 2.5.2 in the syllabus is advertising consumer interaction. Advertising consumer interaction. Boom. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Simple, simple, simple. Okay. So what does this entail? Advertising and consumer personality, including self-monitoring. Personality. So, self-monitoring. Do we know what self-monitoring is? Well, let's try and recall. And after this, I'll continue this real quick, and then we'll think about self-monitoring right when we get to it. But then we also have our key study, which is Synder and Debono. Synder and Debono. You don't have to know the date, but I'm gonna write it anyways. Synder and Debono, 1985 is what it says, right? 1985. Okay, focus on study 3. Specifics of methodology for study 1 and 2 will not be needed. Okay. Focusing on study 3. That's very nice. We love when we only have to focus on 1 out of 3 things. And then finally we have how... Oh, sorry. A little bit of burping going on. How product placement wow, this is a long ass thing. How product placement in firms affects choice, including examples and explanations for choice, such as mere... Okay, so we'll just say how product placement in firms, or we'll just, yeah, in firms affects choice. Okay. So, let's start with advertising and consumer personality with self-monitoring. So, self-monitoring, if we remember, it got introduced in clinical psychology, actually. When we're talking about schizophrenia, errors in self-monitoring is one of the symptoms on the ICD-11. So, errors in self-monitoring is when you can't tell... I'm just trying to remember because I'm currently a student and I need to know this stuff. Oh, fuck. Errors in self-monitoring is when you can't tell if your own thoughts... Like, you can't tell... Oh, yes, I got it. Let's go. I got it. You can't differentiate between... Or you have, like, errors in differentiating between external stimuli and internal, like, thought stimuli. Or, like, internal, like, sense stimuli. So, basically, you think people are talking to you, or you think you have voices speaking to you when it's just voices in your head, when it's just your own thoughts, right? So, there you go. So, self-monitoring is somebody's ability to differentiate between those two things, I think. Let's make sure. Self-monitoring. Ability to observe, evaluate, and regulate one's own behavior, emotions, self... Okay, so... So, not really, but kind of. Interesting. But I'm right about errors. Self-monitoring error. Okay, now I'm questioning myself. Errors in self-monitoring. Schizophrenia. Okay, so I'm right. I'm right. I'm right about this, but maybe that's not what they're talking about. Gotta love when things have a million different meanings, right? Self-monitoring. What the fuck is happening? Oh, wait. Okay, we're here. So, in terms of advertising, we have two types of advertising, which we already talked about: soft sell and hard sell, right? Put these down here. Soft sell, meaning image oriented, image oriented, subjective. We don't really even need this slide to explain this to us because we just went over it. If you watched the last video, we just went over it. Subjective info, right? And then we have hard sell. Yar. I don't know why. I feel like a pirate. Quality oriented. Quality oriented. I don't know why I paused. Quality oriented. Objective info. Very nice. About product. We'll just write about how product we'll just subjective info is fine. I'm gonna stop myself before I look stupid. Okay, so using the scroll wheel fucks it so hard. That's great. Okay, it went, dude. Okay, there you go. So then we have self monitoring. When an individual alters their behavior to fit in social situations. Okay, so this is the non-schizophrenia thingy. Self monitoring, altering behavior to fit into social situations. Okay. Those with this trait are impacted harder, we'll just say, by soft sell because they want to fit in. Because they want to look good and fit in. Because, or we'll just say because they care more about their image. And we'll just say vice versa, right? Vice versa. Vice versa without, wow, I suck at typing. Without trait equals don't care about image, care about truth. We'll just say. On this, go here, go on this. Okay. Now we go to the self-monitoring scale. It's a self-report. 25 true, false. What did it say? 25 true falses, because I like how that sounds. It is a psychometric. Wow, I suck. Test. measures ability. Oh, sorry. Measures extent. Okay. Put this in thingies. Extent to which an individual has the will and ability. That's where I got ability from. To modify how they're perceived by others. That is one long ass thingy. Core 5 elements of, we'll just write SM because I'm too fucking lazy. Concern with social appropriateness. Use of social cues. Ability to modify social behavior. Using this ability in social situations. It's a lot of typing. And finally, the extent to which a person's behavior is consistent in differing social situations. The extent to which a person's behavior is consistent in differing social situations. Okay. The extent to which behavior stays consistent through if situations. Wait, does what the fuck is even happening? Why does it do this to me? Somebody explain. Can I use the arrow keys? I can't. Let's go. Oh, what is happening? Okay, so now we're on to Synder and Debono. Synder and Debono. I have a friend who plays games. His name is Debono. He's not. He's an acquaintance. Okay. Sorry. I'll continue. Okay. Synder and Debono. We got our aim. Investigate how a consumer's level of self-monitoring affects the impact of advertising. Okay. Impact of level of SM on impact of advertising. Image or quality oriented. Okay. Image versus quality oriented. The hypothesis, image based advertising more effective on high SM. Quality based advertising more effective on low SM. Trying shampoo. We'll just include that because I mean it's part of the procedure, so it doesn't really matter. But okay, now we go to sample. Just kidding. We're on the Yale model of communication. Jesus Christ, Google Slides. What is wrong with you? Okay. Sample. 40 undergrads from Uni of Minnesota. Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota. Is that how they talk? I don't know. That's what I've heard. We're studying Introduction to Psychology. Sounds more British now. All studying Intro to Psych. pro to Psych. Given course credits for participating. Given course credits for participating. Now we have to click on this again, and then we have to click on this, and click it again, and then click on it a million times. Okay. Methodology. Methodology. 2 IVs. That's ICs. IVs. 2 IVs. Manipulated by researcher, naturally occurring variable. Okay. So, researcher manipulation. I like how that sounds more. It's a good part of doing notes, is make it sound good in your head. You'll remember it better. Write it in your own words, you know. Researcher manipulation. We'll just go back here. Do one of these. Researcher manipulation, whether they received image or quality based info on shampoo, and then naturally occurring variable, which I'm gonna assume before I look, is the level of SM, right? Whether they were high, we'll just write level of SM. Okay, and then our dependent variable, 1 DV, which was determination to use the product. Determination to use the product. Measured via 2 questions. Okay. All right, questions. That doesn't like questionnaires. What the fuck am I writing? Questions. Okay. Oh, why did I scroll? What's wrong with me? Procedure. Procedure. All participants completed the scale and were divided into 2 groups, high and low self-monitors. Okay. All T's completed SM scale. Capitalize that motherfucker. Split into 2 groups accordingly. Phoned by researcher who said they are carrying out market research for a new shampoo. Phoned by researcher about market research for new shampoo. Given some info about the shampoo and how it was compared to others in a lab test, and asked how willing they were to try it. Okay, given some info about the shampoo and how it was compared to others in a lab test, and asked, okay, given info about shampoo, and info about a lab test comparison to other shampoos. And then I'm gonna do this instead of what they did. And then I asked how likely or how willing they'd be to try it. Randomly, either. Wow, this person sucks, dude. Okay, either cleanliness, quality, or appearance was emphasized. Okay. IVs emphasized. IVs, or IV of what did it say? First IV manipulated via cleanliness or appearance emphasized. Random allocation of these two either group. Is that it? Let's see. No, procedure continues. On a 5-1 scale, how much they'd like to try the new show? Def not, probably not. Unsure, probably yes. Def yes. Okay, whoever wrote this. Wait, I want to see the author slide, or like the Fear Nishi Kyra type. Okay, this is probably Kyra then. Kyra. Okay, definitely not Taiga, because Taigas would be like so fucking long. Well, why didn't you just include this over here? How willing they'd be able to try it? 5-point scale. Def no. Prob no. Unsure. Blah, blah, blah. And then also has to rate as a percentage. Zero to 100. Okay, nice. It's more organized. And there's one more. There is not. This is just results. God damn it. How does it take me back to the fucking Yale model of communication? Like, what is up with this fucking thing, man? Okay. Whew. A lot of studying. Okay. Results. The answers to both questions were positively correlated. Both scores were combined and called the willingness index. Or the more willing they were to use the product. Okay. We'll just say percentage rating and 5-point scale. A pause correlation. That's what they're talking about, right? My bad, sorry. Ooh, it's perfect. Found an interaction effect between both variables. The image-oriented message made people want to try the product more if they had a higher self-monitoring quality, or okay. Hypo found to be true. They've made a little unfinished table. Nice one. That's really cool and helpful. Look at that. It teleported me to the fucking Yale model, bro. Shit's crazy. Okay, and then we're on to the conch. Le conch. High self-monitoring. Okay. Conch is just hypo proven. And okay, now we're on to eval. We're almost done, guys. Just wait. We're almost there. So on the evaluation, strengths are validity, Researcher made the phone call, don't know whether it was okay. Blind. Oh, double blind actually. Double blind reduces researcher bias and demand characteristics. The reason I say it's double blind is because it says here researcher who made the phone call did not know whether the participant was in the low or high monitoring groups. Oh, wait, no, sorry, it's not double blind. Oh, wait, what? They collected the data about self-monitoring at different times from the pretend marketing company. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, the participant was informed about, so it's not double blinds. Let's say researcher. That's my bad. I misread it. Researcher blind to participant SM level. Reduces researcher bias. And then additionally, collected data about self-monitoring and different SM data collected at a diff time than we'll just say different time, diff time from, I like that better, from the marketing phone call. And we'll just say shampoo marketing to make it clear. Shampoo marketing phone call reduces demand characteristics. Hopefully you guys know what that is. If you don't, demand characteristics is like, demand characteristics arise when the participant is aware of like the fact that they're in a study. I mean, they can be aware to different degrees, obviously, right? It's relative. But like, for example, if you take in this study, if the Jesus Christ, my brain fog is crazy. If the participant was aware that the self-monitoring thing was related to this marketing call, and if they were aware that the marketing call was pretend and actually part of the study, then there's a chance that they would change their behavior because they're aware of the fact that it's a study. And for example, they would try to fucking analyze all the questions and then answer differently because it's a study. That's what demand characteristics are. So it reduces that because they're unaware of these things, right? Okay. Weaknesses. Generalize. That's my favorite word to write. Generalizability. Just kidding. That was a joke. Generalizability. Limited. Limit. Whoa. What am I writing? That's not how that word's supposed to look. I'm brain dead. Limited sample. All uni students can't generalize to older/younger and or low education. Then we have reliability. This guy's got a lot of problems. Reliability. Mainly nomothetic. Idiopathic. What's the opposite of nomothetic? It's idio something, right? Nomothetic approach. Idiographic. Jesus Christ, I'm brain dead. Okay. Nomothetic. Mainly nomothetic. Let's say approach should have collected more qualitative data in addition to the quantitative. This doesn't really. This is so simplified. Time to look at the textbook. I don't know what page this is gonna be. I'm gonna assume 548 is my assumption. Not even close. Rest in peace. 518. Where are we at? How product placement in firms affects choice. I was too far. It's back up here, I think. Am I stupid? Yes, okay. I'm gonna sneeze. Jesus. Okay. The weakness of the study was purely non-theory approach, which means it is not entirely clear how or why self-monitoring affects the way consumers respond to different styles of advertising. For example, conclusions were based on 2 questions about willingness to try the. I'll zoom it in for you guys. For example, conclusions were based on 2 questions about willingness to try the product, which provided the willingness to use index. Taking a more idiographic approach by collecting some qualitative data in addition to the quantitative part of the study could have provided. This person switched it around. Oh, no, I switched it around in my head. Okay. With the approach, not, whoa, what the fuck's going on? I'm pressing the wrong keys. Not idiographic enough, not enough, or no qualitative data to explain why / how. Why / how. I think more how the consumers differ in their percent. / how. Keys differ. And final one, ethics, which is not visible because this person who made this slide is definitely a genius and not at all definitely a human being who made this. Ethics. Deception. No informed consent. Obviously, they lied about marketing company / call / shampoo. Lied about everything. But this is dumb. This is just dumb because we literally just had if you watch the other key study video that I just put out, I forget the name. Not North. Decker? Something like that. There is a similar ethical issue where it was like, oh, they used deception, they didn't have full informed consent, but then it was like, but there's no actual psychological harm, so generally it's ethically acceptable, but they just decide not to say that here. Let's check the textbook real quick. One ethical issue with the studies that so deception is necessary to increase the validity of the findings. It also means participants did not have the opportunity to give their informed consent as they did not know what the study was really about. Lack of information makes people vulnerable in the study. May question future telemarketing calls. So stupid, man. Like, nobody gives a fuck, bro. Ethics are useless. No, I'm joking, but, like, in this case, it's like, doesn't matter at all. Was necessary for study, but may reduce participants' trust in marketing calls. Okay, let's go back to this. Application to everyday life. God damn it. Application to everyday life. Thank you. So this is issues and debates now, right? Oh, it's not actually. It's not. Have to everyday life. Understanding the impact of the consumer's personality on the way. For a second, I thought I wasn't recording. Thank God. Understanding the wait, they have it here. Understanding the impact of consumers' personality could help advertising agencies take campaigns more effectively. Make campaigns more effectively. Meaning hybrid advertisements may not be the solution because low self-monitors find image-oriented messages aversive. It is better to create different types of advertising and think more strategic about where and when each advert is shown. Findings can be applied. I mean, it's like, what a surprise. The findings about the study about consumer psychology can be applied to consumer psychology. Let's go. We're geniuses. Creating advertising which adheres more closely to the personalities of consumers, more strategic creation and placement of ads to fit different types of people. That was long, but it is what it is. That thing was long. We have my favorite one: determinism versus free will, right versus completely incorrect. W. These are issues and debates, so we'll just do this here. Issues/debates. Can be seen as overly deterministic. Some can be high monitoring or low monitoring. Different situations in the world of situational factors may be impossible to prodigy. Yeah, I assume this is supposed to be predict. May be impossible to predict how someone would act based on only self-monitoring adverse style. Free will suggests that although a customer may be willing to try on a product, they may not purchase the product for reasons which we do not know. Classic. So determinism is real and free will is bullshit. W. I hate how this person wrote this, so I'm gonna look at this. One issue is if you know whether someone is high or low in self-monitoring, then you can actually predict how they will respond, and how it's not always the case. Mark Synder knows someone may... Okay. I see. Though we can predict behavior based off of SM levels, people have shown ability to fluctuate levels in if situations. Willingness. My S key doesn't work. What? To willingness to try a product may be influenced by free will. Free will, which is not recognized by the study, and rightly so, because it doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Sorry, but that's the truth. Okay. Very nice. And technically, lastly, we do have this. Okay, it's not that long. Should we do this? Okay, why not? Let's just do it. This has been a long one, though. How long is this recording so far? Why can't I check? Oh, I can't check. 40 minutes. Okay, well, it is what it is. How product placement in firms affects choice. Oh. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. That was my, oh. What am I opening? What is happening? Okay, I'm retarded. Here. This is what I was looking for. But what you just saw was my, Discord. I was talking to my friends about, Steam Market. CS2 Steam Market. Okay. How product placement in films affects choice. It's films and not firms? Wait, what? Oh my god, I'm retarded. Rest in peace. Okay. A product is placed in a natural context in a film. This technique works by covert persuasion rather than overt. Nobody tells you to buy the product or making promises about how it will make you feel. It works through implicit memory, which is subconscious. Okay. So. One more space. One more enter key. And product placement in, we'll just say natural product placement in films is common. Covert persuasion affects viewers not told explicitly about the product. We'll leave it there. Works through implicit memory. Subconscious. Mere exposure reminders. Nice. Only 2 more slides, guys. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it. After this, I'm gonna chill. I mean, I'm gonna actually work out and then eat lunch, but after this, I'm gonna chill, basically. It's better than fucking studying. Okay, mere exposure. Mere exposure. The way it applies to oh my god, I keep saying firms. What's wrong with me? Films is that when you see a well-known branded product in a natural context, which is used by someone you view as a role model, you start liking that product more. You may even choose it over a competitor's product the next time you shop. It is a deterministic theory. Okay. My type of theory. Deterministic theory. Use of a product by a role model makes you like said product more. This is obvious, I feel like. Strength. Success when you measured quantitatively by observing consumer. Okay. Quantitative measurement opportunity via observation of consumer behavior. Weakness doesn't explain cultural diffs Moreover, since this technique is getting more popular, people might start realizing this manipulation and not let it affect their purchasing decisions. And explain cultural diffs. Resistance to this resistance increases as popularity of this method is very high. Lacks generalizability and validity. Jesus. Okay. Boom. Is that it? Is there one more slide? Reminders. Okay. We ran out of fucking sound again. Which one am I gonna listen to? Don't go hollow. Sounds like Dark Souls to me. I'll listen to that. How did I end up here? There you go. Okay, reminders. Einders. Remind, fucking hell. I'm brain dead. Reminders. Okay. This effect is more likely if the viewers are already familiar with the film. Then the more recent viewings act as reminders, and the product placement develops a feeling of familiarity. Okay. Multiple viewings of the same product placement acts as reminders. Familiarity translates into liking. Both the mere exposure and the reminder effect have been explained through processing fluency. I don't know what that means, but sure. Both mere exposure and reminders are explained through processing fluency. If we don't know what it means, we're going to look it up. Processing fluency. Subjective experience of ease or difficulty when processing information. Okay, so this, like, somebody's ease of processing information. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of gotta take a massive shit. But we're about to be finished, and I need to go over the notes all together. So, whoa, that was not supposed to happen. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong things over and over again, aren't I? I hit Control V and it just pushed me to the side. Oh, that's why. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta take a shit, so let's go over this quickly, eh? Alright. Audio might get a little bit worse, so I'm laying back now in my chair. Advertising and consumer personality and self-monitoring. 2 types of advertising: soft sell, hard sell. Soft sell's image-oriented, subjective info, trying to work to make the person want to buy your thing because it'll increase or improve their image. Hard sell, quality-oriented, objective info about the product, makes the person want to buy it because your product is good and because you're telling the truth about your product. Self-monitoring is altering your behavior to fit into social situations. Those with this trait are impacted harder by soft sell because they care more about their image. Vice versa, without the trait, they don't care much about the image, and they care more about just improving their life, the truth, whatever. Self-monitoring scale is a self-report, 25 true, false question, psychometric test, measures the extent to which an individual has the will and ability to modify how they're perceived by others. Here are the core 5 elements of the self-monitoring scale. Concern with social appropriateness, use of social cues, ability to modify social behavior, using this ability in social situations, and the extent to which behavior stays consistent through different social situations. Then we move down to, this is kind of connected to the key study. So we have Synder and Debono. Focusing on the third study, they did multiple, but this is the third study. So their aim was to investigate the impact of the level of self-monitoring on the impact of advertising, and the type of advertising being image or quality oriented, as in hard sell or soft sell. Or sorry, soft sell or hard sell. Okay, hypothesis: image-based advertising will be more effective on people with high self-monitoring, and quality-based advertising will be more effective on people with low self-monitoring. And this is about trying different types of shampoo, or advertising for two different types of shampoo, or the same type of shampoo but different advertising methods. Sorry, I'm losing it. Sample: 40 undergrads from the University of Minnesota, and they're all studying Intro to Psych, and they were given course credits for participating. Methodology: two independent variables. One is researcher manipulation, whether or not they received image-based info or quality-based info. Image-based being soft sell, quality-based being hard sell. And then the naturally occurring variable of their level of self-monitoring. Then we have one dependent variable, being their determination to use the product, their willingness to use the product, which was measured via two different questions, the percentage one and the 5-point one. So the procedure: all participants completed the self-monitoring scale. They were split into two groups accordingly. They were then phoned by a researcher about market research for new shampoo. They weren't told that it was a study. They were told that it was market research for new shampoo. They were given info about the shampoo and info about a lab test comparison to other shampoos, and this was either given in the image-based or quality-based advertising technique way. Then they were asked how willing they'd be to try it. They took a 5-point scale question. Definitely not, probably not, unsure, probably yes, definitely yes, right? And then they were also asked to rate their willingness to try the product as a percentage from 0 to 100. And the first independent variable was manipulated via cleanliness or appearance being emphasized. Cleanliness being emphasized is the quality-based, and appearance being emphasized was the image-based. And of course, the participants were randomly allocated to either group. The results were that the percentage rating and 5-point scale had a positive correlation with each other, and the hypothesis was found to be true, which was that the image-based advertising would be more effective on people with high self-monitoring, and quality-based advertising would be more effective on people with low self-monitoring. And the conclusion is just that the hypothesis was proven. Our evaluation is one strength, which is its validity. The researcher was blind to the participants' social... What the fuck's wrong with me? Self-monitoring level. That reduces researcher bias. Additionally, the social... Oh my god! The self-monitoring data was collected at a different time from the shampoo marketing phone call, which reduces the demand characteristics of the person. Additionally, they didn't know that it was a study. They were told that it was a shampoo marketing phone call, so that sort of deception also reduces demand characteristics. Then some weaknesses. The generalizability is weak because it had a limited sample of all uni students, like all similar ages, similar education level, which stops you from generalizing to older people, younger people, or people with low education level. Then our reliability is kind of bad because it was mainly a nomothetic application. Nomothetic approach. God damn. I need to play some video games. It was mainly a nomothetic approach, right? So it wasn't idiographic enough. If you don't know what these mean, nomothetic meaning taking the average from a large sample of people. Idiographic meaning taking more like kind of... This is more quantitative data, which is like numbers and statistics and stuff, right? Of an average of people, lots of people, big sample. Idiographic is more about taking it from an individual, taking more qualitative data, more specifics, more why and how. less numbers, right? So it wasn't ideographic enough. There's no qualitative data to, wow, that's not spelled correctly. More, whoa, qualitative. There was no qualitative data to explain why or how the participants differed, and there was only just quantitative data to show that they differed. You know, we don't have any why or how, which reduces reliability. And then ethics, there was a good amount of deception, no informed consent because they didn't know that their information was being used in the study. They lied about it being a marketing company. They lied in the call. They lied about it being about shampoo or whatever, right? Although it was necessary for the study to be valid, it might reduce the participants' trust in future marketing calls. It's a bunch of bullshit, but whatever. And then we have our application to everyday life. Another weakness. Wait, no, it's not a weakness. Sorry, this is another strength, or it's just kind of by itself. Application to everyday life. The findings can be applied to creating advertising which adheres more closely to the personalities of customers, or sorry, consumers, customers as well, but consumers mostly. Is what it means. And you can make more strategic creation or placement of ads to fit different types of people at different times, different places, you know, that sort of stuff. Then we go to issues and debates. It can be seen as overly deterministic because even though we can predict behavior based off of somebody's self-monitoring levels, that's the deterministic part. This is an issue because people have shown ability to fluctuate their levels in different situations. So it's overly deterministic. And also, willingness to try a product may also be influenced by free will, which is not recognized by the study as it's overly deterministic. I won't make any more shots at that stuff. We'll just move on. How product placement in films affects choice. So, natural product placement in films is very common, you know, like fucking, what's it called? World War Z, Brad Pitt with the fucking Pepsi fucking vending machine. That shit's hilarious. All right. Covert persuasion affects viewers. They're not told explicitly about the product. There's no advertisement. You know, it's just a celebrity drinking from a can, or you know, some fucking Pizza Hut on the table while they're talking about something completely different. You know, it's just in the background, and so that works through implicit memory in the person's subconscious. Another thing here is mere exposure. Mere exposure, which is a deterministic theory, which is that the use of a product by a role model will make you like said product more. The strength of this is that it can be quantitatively measured via observation of consumer purchasing behavior, and I'm sure there's proof of this being real. Obviously, right? Like, you know, Ronaldo's shoes, Messi's shoes are gonna sell more than just random Adidas cleats. But a weakness is that it doesn't explain cultural differences, and also resistance to this to mere exposure is quite high, as the popularity of the method is very high. So as people increasingly know about this, then it can be said that the resistance to this method will probably increase, and so mere exposure lacks generalizability and validity. It lacks generalizability across cultures and validity in general. And then finally, we have the idea of reminders. So multiple viewings of the same product placement in different movies, or the same movie over and over again, I guess, acts as reminders, and this familiarity translates into liking. Both mere exposure and reminders are explained through processing fluency, which is the subjective experience of ease or difficulty. So subjective experience just meaning like an individual's experience of ease or difficulty when processing information, which can influence judgments and evaluation. So there you go. That's it. Thank you for watching and listening and studying, maybe. Goodbye.